Welcome to Chana Talks Live TV. This is take 2 today to try to get out a specific message to you. So I've been talking, first of all, thank you. First of all, last week we thought my mother was passing. We made plans on Friday, should she pass on Saturday, what to do and how to do it. From the place she's living, it's almost a week later and I just left my mommy. I still have one. Never write anybody off, beautiful people. Never. It's not in our time, it's in God's time. And there are times I know she wishes she could just go. She's at end-stage Alzheimer's and she's at end of life. As they described to me, she is failing but not actively dying yet. And there are all kinds of signs about that, and it's great. She's here. Everyone, I did an hour-long video on Sunday in my group about it, and it was quite poignant, and it was sharing my journey with my mother's Alzheimer's and what I've learned from it. Maybe I'll do that here, but the point I want to make is that many women kept saying, Chana, it must be so hard. And yes, it's never easy to lose a loved one, especially as close as a mother or parent. And it should always be the parents that go before the child. But that being said, the journey with my mother has not been hard since I've chosen to do this inner work. Why? Because today my emotions don't scare me. I'm not fighting or resisting on any level that my mother needs to go. She's lived a full, beautiful life. There's only one direction, and none of us get out alive. Do I cry with her and how much I'll miss her, and I get, hi Renee, and I get saddened by it? Of course I do. That's not to say that I don't feel fully, but I'm not afraid of what I'm feeling, and I'm completely whole with letting her go. We've also been talking in my group about self-care, and many women are telling me that it's not easy, they're feeling triggered, it's very hard. And I want you to look at your language. What do you even mean it's not easy or it's very hard? Do you know the next step that would be required for you to make any change? You see, some of you don't call me or join my group because I'll expect something of you, or it's very hard, or I don't know what'll be required. And so out of the fear of the unknown, and fear is always more frightening than the actual going through it, you don't do it. When you say it's so hard, what are you even talking about? Wouldn't it be easier to take a step and understand that if you make a decision that you're going to change something or put yourself first for the first time in maybe many, many years, that you decide, you feel you've got to change by 3 o'clock tomorrow, that your life has to be different now. But that's not how life works. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. And the reason it's often so scary is because you don't have a clue how to do it alone. And if you could have, you would have. None of us can. I didn't go through my journey of transformation alone. I had coaches, I had support. You see, there's this thing called social gravity. We know gravity exists, right? No one has to tell us if you jump out of a 3rd floor window, you're going to be a blob on the ground. If you drop a ball, it's going to go to the ground. But there's the same thing that exists societally. It's called social gravity. And most of us are surrounded with people that want to pull us back to the status quo. So when you start to change, it does become difficult. It's like an aerodynamic rocket that's resisting gravity and shooting up. The pressure's enormous. But with the right support of people, as in a private Facebook group of amazing, gorgeous women, and me as your leader, we're pulling you to your we're pulling you up. When I need to experience something new, I turn to my people that are going to pull me through it and encourage me in it. Not say, what do you need it for? Oh, come on, you've survived this long. What do you have to change it for? You're going to make it through to the end. Is that the quality of life that you really want? To survive until the end? You're never too old to start where you're at. And, you know, I always say, if you're in addictions, if you're in abusive relationships, if you're in deep, severe mental disorders, those require some level of therapy, and I'm not a therapist. But being someone that's been in therapy, couples, individual, I don't necessarily believe that it really works, especially for couples. Because how do I know that? Because it takes so long. How long have you been sitting on that same couch? And the reason the couples therapy, I believe, doesn't necessarily work is because you just keep regurgitating, and what you focus on expands, and you often don't leave feeling better. That was my own personal experience. I don't mean to be imposing my experience on you, but maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. That's kind of irrelevant to my point. The point is, stop saying it's hard, it's not easy. Look at your language. Look at your language. What about saying, what if it's possible? What if? What if I called Chana and felt better? What if I joined her group and found it helpful? What if? Scan for possibilities and opportunities. Stop scanning for problems to prove you right. How hard it is. You'll always be proven right. You're never going to run out of proof if that's what you're looking for. I was in a fitting room yesterday with a woman, and she was shopping for a gift for her sister-in-law, a few years older than me, and she couldn't believe that she actually came into the store and decided to look for something for herself before looking for the sister-in-law. And she was so excited she found a blouse and some shoes. And I was telling her, good for you, most women don't put themselves first. She goes, I know, if this is so hard, where else am I not doing it in my life? Look at the conversations I am magnetizing to myself. But it's true, beautiful women. You come first. And when you put yourself first, without guilt and blame and shame, you will be able to be there for people in so many different ways. That's the message. I hope this video works. Facebook's got all these new bells and whistles every time on my screen. I don't know what I'm doing. But I didn't give up. This was take 2 on my message today. I'm thinking of doing a video for you with my journey for my mother and the Alzheimer's. It won't be an hour long, but there are definitely some lessons to learn. And I think it might serve you if I share it. Anyway, I hope to give you good news until there's not good news. And in cases like this, no news is good news. I love you. Shabbat Shalom. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.